Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The law is very clear when it states that all records, reports, documents, people, and so forth are to provide the information that you need, and of course that is the issue that brings us here. You have stated clearly, each of you, that in order to do your job you need 100% of the information that you request. That being the case, what percentage would you say of that 100% do you not receive or is delayed to the extent that it's problematic? And I realize this is just a guess, but what would you say?
Our issue has been the delay issue and the timely receipt of it, and the Congressman's question as well, which is it is taking a substantial amount of my time as Inspector General and a significant time of certain teams of mine who get delayed. Ultimately, they may get the records, but it's taking us, in some instances, months.
Okay, how much is delayed?
Months
of
time.
The rest of you experience a similar type of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
In my case, we don't, up until recently, didn't get the records, period, until we entered into the MOU.
Okay, so we have a whole gamut of issues here. Significant delays to the extent that you are unable to do your job or not receiving the material at all. All right, last year, Attorney General Holder testified before the Judiciary Committee in April. At that time, regarding this type of issue, he said, quote, "I'm not sure exactly what the process is, but I do not think that it's anything that has had a negative impact on any investigation that he's tried to conduct," end quote. What is your assessment of that statement? It sounds like it's not true.
Well, the impact on our investigations hasn't been that we didn't ultimately get the records. The impact on our investigations has been the time delay, and if there are findings associated with our efforts, that means we don't learn of them early enough, the Attorney General doesn't learn of them early enough, and the Congress doesn't learn of them early enough.
But the Attorney General said that he's not aware of anything that's had a negative impact at all on the investigation, and that would not seem to be true.
Well, as I mentioned, that's the impact we've had, that it's had on us, has been the delay and the delay in our ability to do our work and get our reports done, and that does have an impact on our ability to do what Congress has instructed us to do.
All right, I understand. Mr. Horowitz, you mentioned that during this time when you experienced personally in 2010 delays and the type of things that you're experiencing, that was right in the middle of some of the issues that were being dealt with, the Patriot Act, national security issues, fast and furious.
Correct.
There were a number of issues taking place at that time. And we've also determined today that our system around here in Washington operates with authority. People do as they are told. Is it reasonable to the average person hearing this information today to conclude that it would appear as though somewhere, someone in whatever position of authority has been able to direct agencies to either withhold or delay information? Would that be a reasonable conclusion?
In my instance, it was an FBI General Counsel opinion, and it was through the FBI back in 2010.
Yeah, and in my opinion, generally it starts at the top in terms of messaging and culture. If the top says it's okay to do it, then everybody else will fall in the line.
Okay.
In my case, it was a general counsel opinion that was issued that caused the problem.
Okay, so the problem that you're facing is coming from somewhere at some higher level that is giving directives, and it is going through. So as one of my colleagues mentioned a while ago, we need some names. If you are aware of any, in order to get to the root and pull the root of this problem up, we need some names. We need something to go by. Let me shift gears real quickly in the brief moment that I have left. Have, in the midst of your requesting information, have you, to your knowledge, ever received back information that was edited, altered, redacted in any way?
We have initially received redacted information. We've also learned through our reviews that productions that we were told were complete, it turned out when we interviewed witnesses weren't complete, and we had to go back and ask for supplemental records.
Okay, Mr. Elkins?
Yeah, I can't think of any instance where we've received information that's been redacted.
Okay. Ms.
Well, in our case, pursuant to the MOU, they do redact information before they give it to us.
Okay, so we have a multiple issues of problems here, where you're not receiving information, you're receiving delayed information, or you're receiving information that in one way or the other is inaccurate when you receive it.
That we're being told it's complete, and it turns out we find other records along the way.